another episode of the Yellow Couch. So I'm just gonna wait a minute and wait till everyone come in. Please don't forget to share. Come on in and share and drop some smiles, okay? The Yellow Couch is now live. Yes. Yes. Welcome, everyone. Come on in. Trying to get my technologies going. Yeah. All right. So we are now live in the Yellow Couch. Another episode. I am your host, Stephanie Harrington. I am so happy and so humble to share these stories with you guys. I am so blessed by the messages that I have received from you guys and how this is helping everyone. And I'm so, oh my God, I'm so blessed by it. So I'm just glad that, you could take what you can and use it in your life. That's why we're here, to build, grow, and shine. Yes. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Yellow Couch. Hi, Mom. How are you? My cheerleader. Yes. So last week we spoke about courage, and I thought it was fitting because of Memorial Day and how it took a lot of courage for those soldiers to do what they did so that we can, live in this free country, right? So I think courage was a great topic to talk about last week. But this week, I choose to speak about growing. And so before, all the topics that I've been speaking about was more of building. And in order to build, the soil do matter. I spoke about knowing your why, understanding who you are as far as function, and as well as what the courage it takes sometimes to break some of the barriers that we have. So our soil is important, your atmosphere is important to build, and while you're building, you have to see growth, right? That's how you test it, like a science. In order for something to be scientific proof, you got to do the research, you got to do the testing to prove that. So today I'm going to touch a little bit on growing. And the topic for today is maturation of faith, like maturing in your faith. Yes. So I want to share a story about how faith was displayed for me on a level that it was climbing. So I don't know if a lot of you knows, but I am a nuclear medicine technologist, and I moved here in Daytona and from Miami, and just finished school and moved up here and was working at the hospital as a nursing assistant. But I needed a job in my nuclear medicine field, but I didn't have a job. I didn't have any experience and I didn't know anyone. And I was reaching out to different places and I couldn't get a job. And I was told, this guy named Nick Creech was the head of department of the Florida hospital at the time. That was Advent Health. And I was trying to reach out to him, and I always get his secretary or, someone leave him a message, and they always tell me, go check online if there is any position open. And one day my husband, he's a barber, was cutting, and this guy just walked off the street and went right into his chair. And I came home and he gave me a card and I was like, whose card? Guess whose card I got today? And I was like, whose card did you get? And he was like, look. And it was Nick Screech. And I was like, oh my God. And he was like, yes, the man just walked in my chair. And I was just talking about and sharing about my wife. And she worked at a hospital and she's looking for a job. And he was like, I'm Nick Creech. I'm the head of the radiology department, just like that. And, he gave him his information to give me. But that's That's not why I'm telling you the story. That's like divine appointment. The main reason why I'm telling you the story is what I did after. So I called Mr. Creech and I said, hey, I'm Stephanie. He said, yes, the barber's wife. So yeah, he said, go to the department. I already spoke to the head of the department. She know you're going to call and she will deal with you. So when I called, she said to me, at the moment they just hired someone on and they weren't really looking for someone. And she said, well, and I don't want to be training two people at the same time. So, can you wait, and I didn't just, I went there, I showed up and I said to her, because it sounded like, oh my God, this is not promising. And I said, on my day off, I could come in and shadow. And she was looking at me like, you would do that for free? And I was like, yes. And she was like, well, like it's up to you. You know what I did? I left. I went to the security department and I got me an ID, paid $20 for it, say volunteer. I went to the store. I bought me some uniform that's matching the same department. And on my day off, I showed up in that nuclear medicine department every day, every week on my day off from my other job. Yes, I did. I did. That was an act of faith. And guess what? When that opportunity arose, I was the one there to get that opportunity. And for me, why I'm sharing this is, it's not just, oh, wow, that was amazing, you did that. No, for me, I want to show you the defect that I had in my mind, because the defect I had in my mind was I just moved into town. I don't have any experience. I already told myself that I wasn't going to get a job because I don't have no experience. My self-talk started shutting me down, in my subconscious. I started shutting myself down. That door was open for me, yes, but I had to step in. Not only step in, I had to take ownership. And that ownership by going there for a couple of months, start seeing and believing and start creating that space where I'm like, okay, this is mine. I got this. And then it became mine. So I just wanted to share that just before I jump right in about that, how that happened. So you may ask, what is faith? Faith is trust. It's confidence in someone or something. Faith means believing in something that you have no evidence of. How's it going to happen? But you're making yourself believe that what you hope to see will come to pass with a firm, persuasive attitude. Faith can be used in every area of your life, in your spiritual, for your health, your mental, finance, your ethical, or even moral values. You can use faith in. Everyone is using faith daily. Let me say that. Everyone is using faith daily, even when you don't even know. You are. Yes, you are. There are three aspects of faith. It's knowledge, belief, and trust. And knowledge is aided by information. You need information. You got to know what you're believing for. That's when you're intentional. And then to believe is allowing yourself to apply that information in your mind by acting as if you already received the outcome. So me going to buy that uniform, buy my scrubs and the shoes and getting my ID and showing up on my day off when I should be resting was me acting as if I already received the outcome. But it was built. It wasn't just like immediately it happened. It took time and it was building. It was becoming more and more real. The more and more I show up, the more and more I realize that, oh, I could do this. I could do this. It was building. So faith is the journey, right? It's moving in any direction you perceive it to go. So faith can increase and faith can decrease, and it could remain stagnant. And we don't want stagnant, right? No, we want it to increase. Okay. So you've ever heard this phrase, only believe. I'm sure you have heard that. I love it. I love only believe. I believe that only believe is the master key of faith. It's like the key that goes in the ignition and starts the car. Only believe. Yes. And one day I want to teach about that in so much depth. That's Not today, though. So, faith is at our disposal to carry out the message into the unknown, and the outcome is the direct signal that the master sent. So your faith is measured individually. It's personal. It's between you and God. I can say to you right now, I have faith. Oh, yes, I'm believing. I am believing. But how do you know? I'm just saying it. It's only you and God, because you have those, you're believing for something and you have that thing in your mind saying, but what if? But what if, that little doubt, I need to see a little more evidence. Nothing is moving in the direction I'm thinking it's going. And you're wondering what's going on. And, that little what if and that but, and, so we have some doubt sometimes. So it's a measure. And I think that comes with experience, and it builds and it grows. So your experience in life are tools, those to help you grow your faith. But it's ultimately you who decides each level of your response. How you respond determine your maturity level. So God made inside of all of us the ability to expand our faith. It's like a elastic or rubber band. When you stretch it and you stretch it, and sometimes we don't want to be stretched in certain areas, and sometimes it's okay to be stretched. You see, I'm doing this studying about human development, and we were learning about how when a baby is born, how their cartilage and their bones, if they fall off the bed, it's harder for their bone to break. But an older person, they move and they bend. It's they're like, they can't stretch. They don't have the bounce back as fast. And it's so true, because these younger generation, like my daughter, I'll call her and I'm like, how do you get this? Take this off my phone. And she's just like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, and it's not that I can't do it. I just don't want to be stretched to learn it. But sometimes that's a part of growing, is stretching and being able to allow yourself to expand, and we could stretch, whether in God, learning about more about God, or God in us, your gifting, your career, your work, in believing in someone else, or most importantly, yourself. Self-discovery for me was one of the greatest things that ever happened to me in my life. That's why I'm here talking to you today, because I allow myself to be stretched. Yes, I saw beyond what was stagnating my growth. Yes. So I believe if there's any currency in heaven, it would be faith. Mm-hmm. And the treasure that would be filled would be based on the maturation of my faith. Yes. So that's the treasure where, moth or rust grow. It's only between me and God. When challenges come my way, I'm like, back up, stay away. But now I understand that challenges are opportunity to grow. So every time something happened, like things that used to, makes me think or stay up late at night 10 years ago, don't do that to me anymore. Does that change? No. But I've grown in that area. My faith have been built in that area. So that's points, treasure in heaven. And that's how God is building you and building me. Even, some certain things we're using faith and we don't even know. We get up and we go to work and we just know that the work's going to be there. We don't even think about it. It's just going to be there. It's faith. We're using faith daily and we don't even know. We all have the golden ticket to the kingdom, which is at hand. The kingdom of God is at hand. It's right here. It's not in Pluto. It's not in Mars. It's right here. And, the scripture says, seek you first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. So seek first what is in your subconscious, to see if there's any limiting belief system that is stagnating your growth. And I really wanted to touch on this, because in order to grow, you have to go back to that place where we have that limited belief and the internal barriers. For me, it's money. Money was a thing that I had a limited belief about because of the history and what I've learned about people with money and how I've seen them through different eyes based off of what I've learned and heard and what was deposited in me. Like, oh, it's wicked people that have money, and those people are, oh, they're thieves, they're this. So you have this ideology like, oh, having money, you're gonna be on the, oh, I don't love money, I love God, and I love, so you push it away. You're like, so sometimes you got to go back in your subconscious, you got to dismantle those belief system that you have allowed yourself to get stuck on, and replace them with some better and right way of thinking, and allow yourself to flow and to grow, right? So a deeper look into the subconscious can help you identify right patterns, and replace them. So learn to stretch your mind and tap into God's wisdom, using different tools to increase your faith. For me, I use tools such as meditation. And as I said, going into the subconscious, I want to share even word meditation. I remember years ago when I first heard about, meditation, and the first information that I got about meditation was, it's evil. It's from the devil. It's wicked. And I would be like, shut it down. I don't want to hear about it. Anybody say, oh, I've had friends who invited me, do you want to go do some, do yoga, like workout exercise or something like that? And I would be like, no, I just shut it down. I shut it down. And because of my limited belief system, because of what was told to me, and I took everything like, and I'm not, like, I'm not blaming the person who said it, or the environment that it was said in, because everybody's doing the best that it can with whatever they were given. Maybe when they heard it, it was told to them like that. But I shut that down with not allowing myself to be open-minded. I think fear too. Fear allows us to be crippled and keep us in traps because of fear of, oh, I don't want that to come in and mess up. No, I have to understand that I am the salt of the earth. So when I go around anything or any environment I am in, being the true who I am should affect my environment, not my environment affect me. I am the salt. Salt affects everything, and nothing affects salt. You can't change salt. Salt could change the flavor of your food. It spice it up. Salt could make the ice melt. Salt, you could use salt to preserve things. Salt affects everything, but nothing affects salt. And then we have to have that faith and know who we are, and that we are the one are affecting our environment, not our environment affecting us. So, so for tools that I use is meditation. When I say meditation, quiet time, just do some deep breaths and feels my blood beating my body, and separate myself from the TV and the phone, and just have that quiet time to just listen to my inner man, listen to God speak to me, and spending that, quiet time alone. It's healing in itself, taking nature walk. I was born and raised in Jamaica, and up in the mountain we have trees, and sometimes we go sit under a mango tree and eat 2 mango and just relax. And we didn't hear loud noise passing the cars every minute. It's kind of changed now, but I used to nature. I know what it is to walk with no shoes in the grass, and go climb a tree and just sit on, look in the mountains. Those things lift your spirit, and it heals your mind, and just trust and listen to your inner spirit, because anything that it's telling you is for your good. Yes. So I don't believe that the comforter, Christ died so he could send the comforter, is loud. I don't believe he's loud. I don't believe it's manipulative. I don't believe it's cunning or give ultimatums. If you don't do this, this is, no, I don't believe that. Thank God. But rather loving and peaceful and patient, and it reflects oneself. Maturation of faith is becoming, it's evolving to love, it's shedding whole mindset and letting go of control into a state of flow. And I am a living proof of that. It's breaking down my internal barriers, my self-sabotaging minds that I set up, bombs inside that, it's breaking all of that, and allow yourself to flow and allow God to flow through you. So I want to make this clear too, that fear still exists, but faith superseded. I always talk about, how I was a victim of fear my own life, and what I've been through in my past, and I'm a victim of my environment, I'm a victim of this. But while I was in it, I allow myself to remain a victim. My mindset then was different, and I could use it as, I could use it to sell. I could use it to, make people listen to me. Oh my God, she went through this, she went through that. But no, that's not the point. That don't bring healing. That's just stimulating people and stimulating the environment for a while, but no change. And I'm all about change. I'm not all about fame and all that. I'm all about change. So, the Bible gives a great description when it says, overcome evil with good. And the best way to get rid of negative mental state is to fill the mind with thoughts of the opposite nature. For instance, thoughts of love will overcome thoughts of hate. Or the consciousness of goodwill will overcome the effect of evil. Thoughts of faith will overcome fear. It's like light and darkness. Where is the darkness when the light is introduced? When you go in your house and the house is dark and you turn the light switch on. You turn the light switch on, right away the light comes in the house. Where did the darkness go? Switch the light back off. It's right there. It never leaves. It coexists. It's right there. So when I'm talking about I'm a victim of my past, it's like I'm always like, I'm trying to repress it and run away and push it and this happened to me. No, it's how you use good to overcome evil. So you do the opposite. See people say, kill them with kindness, turn the other cheek. Jesus said it well, and he knows it best. So if you turn the light on, the darkness is gone. But if you turn the light off, darkness is still right there. It never leaves. But light is positive, and it overcomes the darkness. You can't light a candle and put it under a bushel. You have to shine it so the world could see and give glory to God, because he's the one that shines through that light. So where there was darkness, light now shine. Everything is now possible. My faith is expanding. My treasure is increasing. And my trust is building as I am evolving. So as today, we are touching on growth. And I feel like maturing and teaching about faith is the rightful thing to talk about today, because you have to have faith for whatever it is that you're dealing with. Raising a child, going to work, starting a business, anything that you're doing at all, it takes faith. And it's dissecting what faith is. It's believing that you already receive what you're hoping for. And once you believe that, you start have to have that attitude that you already have it. So you're going to act like you already have the job. You're going to speak, conduct yourself as if you prayed for it, you asked God for it. No, you're leaving it in his hand because you trust that he will give you the desire of your heart, and you leave it there, and then you start acting. You start saying things that back that up. You don't use words that you go take it back out of his hand. No, you use words that keeps it there. He's working on it. It's coming together. Oh, I see it's coming no matter what I see, because you see these things called the eyes. I realize that we got 2 eyes and 2 ears for a reason. So we got to listen more. And sometimes the things that we're seeing, oh my God, we taking more on seeing than we do listening. And sometimes the things that we see distract us and cause us to start think some kind of thoughts that interfere with the faith-driven thoughts. So just be aware of that. So as you grow in your faith, just understand that you yourself are maturing and that your treasure in heaven is being built, okay? Which is in the mind. Okay, so I have found that growing up means being honest about what I want, what I need, and what I feel, and who I am. And every week, I always want to leave you guys with a poem. And I found a poem today by Miss Elaine George, and you could Google it and read it yourself as well. But it's a gift from God. That's the name of the poem. And it says, I am a wish, a prayer from mortal lips that reach heaven and touch God's fingertips and return to earth wrapped in flesh and blood. That's you, wrapped in flesh and blood, a gift from God's unconditional love. So love and cherish me as God does you, and guide and teach me will in all I do. And together a garden we will grow, filled with the fragrant beauty of the rose. And on the day I reach maturity and feel the need to leave, like leaves to leave the tree, to show the world the colors that are me, rejoice in all the beauty that you see. For I am your child, the gift that God gave, no more than a wish and a prayer away. And that's you. That is for you today. That is for you. You know, God, you were spoken for. God made you with unconditional love, wrapped in flesh and blood. And hi Karen, how are you? And as you mature and as you grow, you'll see more and more of him in you. So from the yellow couch today, I'm not going to go long. Allow yourself to be stretched, just like the rubber band, trusting that God will guide you and keep you. As you are stretched, you are being built. Your faith is increasing. You are becoming and evolving to love. We are wired for victory over stunted growth, guys. I am your friend, Stephanie Harrington. Meet me here next week at 7 on the yellow couch. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.